They say necessity is the mother of invention. Well, last month, Molly and Tiffany had the opportunity to chat with one mom who found a way to make life in the kitchen a little easier and more practical.
Many health experts agree that you shouldn't deny yourself your favorite foods. They just suggest everything in moderation.
That's right. Our next guest is the inventor, yes, I said inventor, of a new kitchen gadget that helps you manage portion control. Becky Parr created PerfectSlice Bakeware. It's a built-in cutting system that allows precise portions and endless options. Good to have you here.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Tell us about it. How does it work?
Well, this is a portion control baking system. And I invented this for several reasons. One, I had just moved from Texas to Michigan with a 13-year-old daughter, and I don't recommend doing that. It's really hard.
Yes.
And I was throwing parties all the time. But there were different numbers of kids coming. So sometimes I had to cut 9 brownies and the next day 12. And no one wanted to be without one, and nobody wanted the small one.
Right.
So
yes.
I was so frustrated. So one day I just got my pan out and I drew inch marks all around it. And I realized I couldn't cut a straight line. I mean, you can't draw one. Yeah. So you can't cut one either. So I got a dough cutter, and it didn't go all the way across, but almost. And I thought, wow, with a straight edge, I can just line up those inch marks and I can cut 9 servings or 12 servings or 18 servings, whatever I needed. And I was also a Weight Watcher at the time. And I realized when my recipe said there's 12 servings in that pan, I wasn't stuck with a casserole dish and a spoon. I could actually cut the size I needed for my diet.
That's fascinating because it's true. I mean, you think about how many times a recipe, like you said, says this baking is 4 servings or 8 servings or whatever. You rarely control that on your own.
That is so true, and this gives you that control.
And the other thing that I will say, in cutting brownies, or like you're showing a quiche there, cakes like sheet cakes or pancakes, they're hard to cut sometimes. So I feel like this not only does a great job of portion controls and getting equal slices, but takes kind of the hassle out of cutting, like brownies in particular. You know, they get sticky, they're hard to cut and make look good.
Right, and that is the difference between looking like an amateur and looking like a professional, is making sure that every piece is uniform. And people used to think when I threw my parties that I had hired a caterer.
Really?
Yeah. And
just because they look so perfect.
But I never told them any different. I just let them,
yeah. Nor should you.
But just by cutting, you know, 2x3s, for instance, in the cookies, or triangle shapes from 3x3s, and all of a sudden people think, wow, she spent a lot of money on that party.
Well, you know, I think what's fascinating is sometimes the best inventions are almost the simplest in theory. So what does the industry think of it? Because you've gotten huge publicity. I mean, everybody loves it. Yes. And they probably thought, why didn't I think of this?
I have heard that over and over. I have. Weight Watchers wrote a whole blog about this, calling it portion control perfection.
Really?
Nice.
Oh, yes. We've been on the doctor's TV show, for instance, saying it's great not only for dieters, but for diabetics as well.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many people have compared it to an ice maker. And they say, you know how ice makers just completely revolutionized refrigerators. You would never think of buying one without it.
Right.
Now they're thinking this is what will happen with bakeware. If this was possible to buy versus one without portion control, why not buy it with portion control?
Yeah, why wouldn't you buy it and have it looking good?
Look at all these different options here. I'm just going to kind of
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to talk about, because as Tiff said, options. So what sizes and shapes do your pans come in?
That's an excellent question. We have 9-inch cake pans that are round and square. We have a pie pan, which is a deep dish, and if you're planning on making a pumpkin pie or any kind of meringue pie, that's the one.
Okay, so this one right here.
Yes.
Okay.
Then we have our cookie sheet, which is on the end, and let me tell you, this is a 12x14 pan, and it is absolutely perfect for cookies.
So you cut your cookies in squares?
I do. I don't have to do 4 or 6 pans of individual round cookies. I make one whole sheet, and then I cut the number of dozen I need.
I love that.
I'm done in 15 minutes instead of 40.
Do people know how to adjust recipes for?
You don't have to adjust it.
You don't have to adjust it for cookies. You can just make it and fill the pan.
Exactly, just fill the pan.
So I know people right now are like, okay, tell me where I can get it. I have to buy 1 or 3 because I need to buy them for gifts and things like that. So where can people find it?
Well, I'm so glad that you mentioned gifts, because our best seller is actually this pan right here.
And and all of them come with the slicing
All of them
piece.
come with a slicer tool that fits exactly
Look at that, it just
inside
pops right on top.
So cool.
This one comes with a lid, and that's why it's our best seller, and it is so strong.
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh, that's
will
awesome.
not fall out.
Yeah,
and
and
you
then
just,
pull up the slicer again too, just so people can see you do that right there.
it just
Yeah.
pops
Just
in.
pops out.
So you will never get to your party without it.
That is so cool. What is in there? It
This
smells
is
delicious.
apple cake.
Oh,
my
that's
goodness.
And
so cool.
for instance, this had 220 calories per slice if you got it right. So I cut on every 3rd inch mark, up and down.
Then you can choose to cheat if you want.
Yeah,
You can have 2 slices.
have
It's
two.
not on accident.
But because of the inch marks, again, it makes it absolutely easy.
All right, you can only find Perfect Slice online. So go to PerfectSliceBakeware.com. That's where you can get all of these great pans. Order it up, send it off for a gift, and have it for the holidays as well.
And by the way, it comes with a lifetime warranty from Berghoff.
Perfect.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Thanks so much
I love
for
it.
joining us
Thank
today.
It was fun. That apple cake smells good
I know.
too. Really fun to meet you. And congratulations on your invention. Making life easier. I like that.